So, good 2023, everyone. Very, very nice to see you. Today, I'm speaking on a subject about the Fast Start plan because it's been revised. And in fact, at the Midlands kickoff, I got talking to James Tomlinson, that's part of the College of Excellence, and was giving him feedback on the new version yesterday on a Zoom call with him and a chap called Marden Wright. And in fact, they are so good at accepting feedback that in fact they've slightly amended it already. I'm gobsmacked because I've been on it looking at it and they've changed it again. Tom, you're on the side. I don't know if you're aware of that, but you're actually kind of, oh, hello, nice to see you the right way up. Right, hello everyone. I am Lisa Ware. I'm a senior group leader. I've now been in this business 20 years, which is absolutely incredible, which means that I'm 20 years older, unfortunately, but I'm still a raver at heart, okay? And what we're going to rave about today is all about this Fast Start plan, because actually I think it's something that everyone can do and it will help them. It's really simple, and I'm going to go through it with you, and I'm going to share my screen a lot, okay? So if I press my green share button, we are jumping onto my partner portal. Now yours will look very similar. It's just that everyone's got a customized one according to the level where they're at, okay? Now that's what's called the dashboard, all right? And what we want to do is, when you've got an established business, you go to the learning portal. It looks different for a brand new person. It comes up immediately, Fast Start plan. But I have to go there, and then I click Fast Start plan. And I'm going to share with you the changes that they've made and how I see this can help you with building your business. Because I think we can all get a bit rusty, and we can all sort of think, oh gosh, what can I do different to make it really happen? So as it says here, you can be a star, a qualified distributor star, to be specific. I don't believe this. Sorry. Oh, do you know what? I'm so sorry. That was unfortunate. Let's see if I can get rid of it. Right, sorry. Right, help 6 customers get your first team member to be promoted to QD Star and earn some great bonuses along the way. Now, what I'm going to say to you, a brand new person is seeing this for the first time, but think about this as drawing a line in the sand in your business today. And actually, your aim is to get 6 customers and bring a new partner in. Now, you're not going to get a QD Star bonus, but actually what it's going to do is help you just feel refreshed and go forward. Now you can press let's go, or please look at the bottom. There is an arrow here, the bottom right. Okay, so I'll press that one, and it's designed to help you get started fast. Okay, a few ideas about how that if you hover over tools and that, there'll be information. Okay, so we'll move on. Now this is quite different to what you will have seen. So UW is a business for everyone, where you can work on your own time and at your own speed. However, for those of you who want to go faster, there are big rewards. And what they've done, they've adapted this already, because I said that I felt it was complex, and I said we need simple, because when people are confused, I know they do nothing. We need to keep nice and simple. So the first aim for everyone is to get to QD Star and then get to QDTL. Now, first and foremost, there's a lovely video. And I'm going to play this first of all, because I think it's fabulous. And I've put it on the large screen. and let's watch together.
Congratulations on making a great decision in becoming a UW partner. This is your chance to earn money that suits you and achieve your personal goals. As a new partner, you have the potential to earn over £10,000 in your first 6 months. This includes over £2,000 in your first month. In this video, we'll let you know just how you can achieve this and more. There is, of course, the unbeatable passive income opportunity that will come as a result of building a business, but that will be covered elsewhere. First, let me go over some of the bonuses that you can immediately take advantage of and that you'll be hearing about as we go through this video. These are the customer bonus. This is the upfront payment that is received when you sign up a new customer. The actual amount will vary depending on whether your customer is a homeowner or a tenant and the number of services that they take. Next, we have the Fast Start bonus. The Fast Start bonus is paid when you sign up 6 or more customers within your first 45 days. This is normally double the amount that you've earned for the first 6 customers that you gathered. So if you've already earned £750 in customer bonus, your potential Fast Start bonus is another £750. In addition, there is the high activity bonus. If you introduce 4 or more homeowners within a calendar month, each taking 3 or more core services, the customer bonus is increased by £100 on each of those customers. That would increase your payment on those 4 customers by up to £400. Last but not least, there are promotion bonuses. UW is a business that allows you to get promoted almost as soon as you start. How many places can you do that? We have special promotion bonuses you can earn when you've gathered enough customers and added more partners to your team.
Who thinks that's rather good? I'm just going to stop the share because it'd be nice to see some of you. And the reason I'm going to say that I think it's rather good is once upon a time, we had to be clever, smart, and we had to learn things and remember things. And what we're out to do is produce a duplicatable system that anyone could do. So what the company have done, a bit like our presentation, where if you just read the words on the screen, it does it for us. This is similar. It's actually doing a lot of the things that we used to have to know. Now, it's a good thing to know them, but now it's done for us. And I think that's a really, really good thing. I like the way it's highlighting the bonuses. So let's go back and then let's show you. Can you see this little button here? Getting to QD Star now. If we press that, it does go back to what we had. But you could go there and it does go back. I think at the moment they've got to sort this out. I just want you to know I've said this because I think they're changing it and adapting it because it's different to what it was yesterday. All right. So can you see the arrow at the bottom? Now we press this. And now this is recognizable to many of us to help you get your first 6 customers and your first few team members as quickly as possible. Here are a few steps we recommend. Now, it's all about identifying the why. And there are some simple questions. But what they've done different is this. I want you to see, please download the Fast Start Plan workbook. So if I press that, it brings it up and you can then download it and save it to your computer. Now, I've already saved it and I have a folder which I call New Partner Handouts, and I've saved that because you could print it off and you could handwrite it. And then you can save it and you can forward it to your new partner that is possibly on a remote screen, not necessarily with you. All right, so you can save it as a PDF and send it to them, which is really, really good. I think I did it there already. So let's have a look at these questions. Okay, so they've said that this is their workbook, which they didn't have before. Okay, so it's something that they can change and adapt. But first of all, what we want to do is establish initially, why did they choose to become a partner? Now, I'm going to say to all of you, think about this for yourselves. Why did you decide to become a partner? Now, 20 years ago, in my early days, for me, it was all about wanting to take away stress and worry of a rather high lifestyle that me and my late husband had. Before we even began, our monthly outgoings were £4,750. That's a lot of money. And I remember putting that I wanted to take away stress and worry, and I wanted more flexibility. Okay. Now, the second question is, what are you hoping to achieve from the business? Now, that needs to be personal to them. You know, a lot of people will say more money, but more money is not something that is tangible. Everybody wants more money. That, you know, it's almost a flippant answer. The reality is, what we need to find out is actually what they want. Now, it could be that they've never had a fabulous holiday with their children, say to Disneyland. They'd love to do something like that as a family. Now, that's a wonderful, tangible thing, because once you've written that down, you've got something to aim for, which is really good. It might be like it was for me. I remember writing, I want to eliminate the everyday household bills. Now, it was enormous because there were so many. And I can remember deciding to categorize this. And I remember writing every single bill down. In fact, I wrote it on a list, you know, mortgage, council tax, water, sewerage. We got rid of the newspaper that we used to have delivered, and we got rid of, sadly, the milkman. We decided we had to go cheaper. But I wrote every single thing down, and it came to £4,750. Now, that's a massive amount. But writing them down individually, I remember thinking, and I'll just come off this again so I can see you all. I remember thinking at the time, well, actually, if I break this down individually, and I can remember vividly at that time that our council tax was £165 a month. And I couldn't wait to get rid of that. I remember thinking, wouldn't it be wonderful never to have to find the council tax ever again? Who'd share that thought with me? Yeah. Now, in those days when I started, it was very much about big houses, fast cars, holidays, and everything like that. But there was me, a little bit of a kind of lone ranger, really. And I think my list probably was a bit boring, because there was all these bills written down. And I remember putting a star next to the council tax, because I just hated paying that one. Don't ask me why, but I really hated paying it. But what I realised is it was stepping stones to be able to achieve that. As my royalty residual income increased, I was gradually chipping away at the bills. Now, it took me in total 4 years to completely eliminate the bills. 4 years. And it took me longer than it should have done. And I'm going to share why, because this is important. When people get completely, as I did, I'll do loads of customers because I'm in control and you earn more money yourself. Now, please bear in mind, in those days, we couldn't earn 250, 300. The most we could earn was £20. All right. And then we went straight on to £20. Okay. I know, I can see Claire shaking her head. But I thought, I'll go out there and get loads of customers. And I actually did exceedingly well, despite the fact it was smaller, because in a year, I got my royalty residual income up to over £950 a month. Now, that was a lot of money. It was a big indent. And I remember one month, the royalty income went up It was £169. And I rang my late husband and said, hey, darling, guess what? We've never got to find that council tax ever again. And I remember punching the air, giving myself a gold star against it and saying to us, we're going out for a meal to celebrate, because it meant that much to me. And bit by bit by bit, now, subsequently, a lot of people have said it's a great thing to aim for. And I'm sharing it because I wrote it all down. And in this workbook, it's really, really good, because in here, you could put, I want to eliminate the bills, and then put how much. And then it says, what would achieving this allow you to do? Can you imagine if I'd had that then? Because I didn't have that. Imagine what I would have written. I'd have put financial freedom, probably with a great big fist mark on it. So it's getting a feel with your new partner of what it is they want to achieve. Now, they've gone one step further, and this is why it's good to print this off, because now they've brought in goal setting. It says, at UW, we want to support and work with you to achieve all your hopes and desires. And we believe in setting goals, which then helps us to realise which actions are required to make the goals a reality. So they talk about, what would you like to achieve in your first month? Guys, for you that are established, let's call your first month this month. What would you think about it? What would you like to achieve in January, by the end of January? Why not write this down? Why not print this off and honestly do it? And it's very easy not to do this. It's easier not to do it than to do it. But I promise you, there is something magnificent in actually writing stuff out. I don't know how it works. I'm not that spiritual, but I tell you what, I wrote my goals. I wrote my stuff down and I started to achieve it. And I'm going to say to you, at the Midlands kickoff, we talked about this massively. Okay. Now, the second question is, what are the different daily methods of operation and actions that you could do in order to achieve this? Well, oh, somebody's making a lot of noise. Now, daily method of operation, DMO, is an important thing, because everybody's got busy lives and they might have children, they might have work and all sorts. But if I can relate this and help you, in those days, I had very, very little time to do this when I first started, because I was doing a full-time job, which was 60 hours a week. I was literally out of the house. All right. And then there was no, by the way, there was no remote working in those days. we didn't have Google. We had Ask Jeeves, and there wasn't even broadband when I started. It was dial-up, and we thought it was amazing when we got unlimited dial-up. All right, makes me sound really old when I say all this. But what was my daily method of operation? Well, I remember thinking, where could I find time? And actually, I decided that making the dinner was the time. So I used to put my little Nokia 6310i with my little lead and the earpiece into my pinny pocket. I would open up my diary on the worktop kitchen counter. And while I was making dinner, and perhaps the washing machine was going with washing, and I remember I often was answering homework questions for my youngest daughter, Gina, because at that point she was about 12. I used to make phone calls, and I wrote down that I had to, this was me, I had to make 5 prospecting calls a day. That was my Monday to Friday. I had to do that. And so it was always in this time that I'd be making calls, and I had a contact list, and I used to make my calls while I was doing the dinner. And invariably, I would get 1 or 2 appointments, which would be fitted in around work and everything. Now it says, what little steps could you do each day and every day in order to work your goal? Well, you could elaborate on that, couldn't you? Yeah, so you could put what it is that you want to do. And then there is an action plan. So what are your takeaways from this to help you build your business? So what will I actually do? Well, in there, it would be make 5 phone calls. And it says, how many DMO actions will you do? Well, actually, it was 5. Who will be able to support me? I think I remember putting, I was going to make a call in with Rob Barris every day because I wanted to be accountable. All right, he was my upline. So this is really good. They brought it in very, very early, and I'm going to recommend that you go on and you print it off. So let's go back to this bit now. We've done this, and now we've done this. Okay, and it can all be printed off. So the next bit, if we click the button going the other way, you'll recognize this. Let's help you get your first 6 customers and your first few team members. So I always ask someone, looking at those amounts of money, how much would be appropriate to you? Now, some people will say, I want 500. That's what I'm needing to make the difference. And it might be to supplement that they're not getting a pay rise. It might be because the gas and electric has gone up so much that that would make the difference. And then some people aren't sure, and you can see them dithering. And then I sometimes suggest, well, why don't you go for this? Why don't you go for 2,000? I tell you what, it's like going for the stars. Well, if you reach the moon, so what? So if we clicked on 2,000, that's a month. That's in the first 45 days. Let's have a look and see what it says. So what do you need to do? Well, gather those 6 customers in your first 45 days and recruit at least 1 partner. You can earn over 2,000 with our fast start bonus and promotion bonus. And achieving those bonuses means we'll pay you up to £300 for homeowners who take 3 or 4 services instead of 150. You will also have reached your second milestone for promotion to QD Star, and you will get a £200 promotion bonus. To do this, we recommend you aim to gather around 8 customers, of which 6 must be homeowners who take 3 to 4 services, and have recruited at least 1 partner who has 1 customer to hit your goal. Now that's easy because what, generally speaking, in those practice appointments, as we call them, there will be somebody that will turn around and say, well, actually, I'd like to be a partner as well. And there's a lady on here, her name's Grace, and that happened for Grace. In fact, her mother came on, and so did a friend, Claire, and now she's got another friend, Lucy's come on. So it's very, very doable. And the presentation enables that if you stick to what's on the actual slides. Now, a top tip is to make this happen, get 10 to 16 appointments in the diary. Focus on homeowners to give yourself the best opportunity to reach your goal or maybe even exceed it. And not everyone will say yes, and that's okay. So get more appointments in the diary than is needed. Okay, now let's close that. I want to bring about this at the bottom. I want to show you this. Great news, once you've gathered your first 6 customers and graduated, all right, so 6 is the graduation. That does include their own customer that's given back to them. For each homeowner who takes 3 to 4 services, it could be worth up to £400 instead of 125 to 150, because in any calendar month, and I just want to stop the share to see everyone, in any calendar month at all. Now, calendar months does mean 1st to the 31st or 1st to the 30th. And February is a hard one because you only get 28 days, don't you? And in a leap year, if you're lucky, you get 29. Okay. So in a calendar month, 1 homeowner that's, let's be realistic and say 3 services, all right? Because not everybody takes 4. Let's say 3 services. Now, once you've graduated, that's £250. Hopefully you're all with me on this. But do 4 of them in the calendar month. And out of every 4 homeowners you do in a calendar month, they'll add another £400 on those 4. So instead of 250, there's 350 each. Wow, that is a lot of money. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. All right. So let's go back. So we've done this bit. Now we go to the next button again. And now you'll recognize this. Now, this is about, if they haven't already done so, help them start building a contact list. There is no business in this business without having people to call. So they help us. Think of 5 people who are switched on, ambitious and motivated. SAMs. And I always say motivated can be replaced with the word mums. All right, because mums are great multi-skillers and used to doing lots of things at once. Now, I love the change they've made on the second section. Think of 5 people who are already in a successful job. Now, it used to say that you feel a bit intimidated by, and it used to cause confusion. People thought that we were trying to get you to find intimidating people. We're not. What it was, we wanted you to find someone that you felt was you were in awe of, right? But how much better? Already in a successful job. Now that could be a manager. It could be somebody that runs that corner shop down the road. You know, those people that work all hours, they are ambitious. Otherwise they wouldn't do it. And then think of 5 people who do you a favor if you ask them. Yeah, why not? And what we're trying to do, and by the way, you must emphasize, this can't be the same 5 people. They've all got to be different people. And what we want to do is try and add a few more there. It says, out of all the people you know, write a list who do you a favor, focus on homeowners, and give yourself the best opportunity to reach your goal. Now, I'm now going to speak about something that's really important. And this is called, it's called profiling. And I'll explain what profiling is. So I encourage them to have a book, an A5 book, and they just keep adding names. It doesn't matter about telephone numbers, just keep adding names. And you then ask them to put an H, a small h, against everyone they believe is a homeowner. Easy. Then you ask them to put, well, it could be a pound sign if you want, could be a P, could be a star, against all of those people that they believe would be interested in having a second income. What we're now doing is looking at that list and we're going for what we call the low-hanging fruit, the easy people to get to. Okay, that's really important. Because the people that are most likely to be happy to be a human guinea pig and have some practice appointments are usually the people that will do you a favor. Those are the ones, the people that do you a favor. And if you want to know what a favor is, you know, that could be would look after your children. That could be would come out in the middle of the night and rescue you if you didn't have AA, RAC or green flag. Those are the kind of people, nice people. Yeah. And you want to emphasize on those. Then the other thing that I do, and I've explained this, is I actually send people the memory jogger, which is something that they've seen when they've done their online training. And I attach it to an email after my Fast Start appointment, and I send it to them because that is a really good thing to help them expand and build their list. At this point in time, it's people don't realize, excuse me, how many people they know. They just don't realize it. They say up to the age of 18, we've come into contact with over 2,000 people and we don't realize it. Okay, so that's a really important thing. I'm going to go back now. So once we've done that, it says, do you have a list of 20 names or more? And hopefully the answer is yes. And it says, if you haven't already done so, please enter those names in my planner. Right, what's my planner? Now this is a new bit. Let's click on it and watch. This is within your app, the partner app. They can use this. Now, this is all very kind of modern technology and everything. And I'm going to make a confession. Yes, sometimes I use it, but I don't really that much. I'm so old fashioned, I still use a diary. I absolutely love opening a diary and seeing what's going on. And but this is something that they encourage, which I understand. Okay, so if they don't, then we've got to help them build that list. Right, the next thing is arrange appointments. It's time to arrange some appointments, and there are a couple of ways to do this. You booked appointments by giving people a ring, and you organise a business launch to get people raring to go. Now, business launches, I will say, is something that happens in their home. It's get a load of people round, perhaps tea and bickies, have someone come along that does the presentation. And hey, we've had some really good successful ones. We've had some great ones. But the very much what we call totally successful way is this. So in your first 45 days, your supporting partner will accompany you on your appointments. Now that could be, by the way, face-to-face, or it could be remotely, to help you learn best practice and build your confidence, as this has proven to be the best method to get you success. Check when you and your supporting partner are free, ring the people you've identified from the list, and use the script below to call. Now, because this, I always book 1 hour with my team to do a fast start plan. We need an hour, because this next bit requires half an hour. So now I'm going to keep you all in suspense till next week. Because next week is going to be all about the calling. And actually, every leader that is successful and head office absolutely know it's the next bit that matters. If you can get the calling right, it will work. Now, when you're new, it's all about not letting on that it's about gas and electric and everything like that, because do you know what? The British are a negative lot. They really are. And they know best. And many of them have huge egos. And in fairness to them, what they've done for themselves up to now is the best thing that they found. But they didn't know about UW because they don't advertise, and they didn't know that there's £400 to help them switch. They didn't know that there's an amazing cashback card that every day you spend money, you can eliminate the cost of your services. They didn't know that there's £200 that you can get on the second bill. They didn't know any of this. But if you go and tell them it's about gas and electric and stuff, they'll just go, oh, I've seen the hand. I've had the hand. All right. But when we move on, next week, I'm going to cover both aspects of the calling, because I don't think there's anything more important than this. If we get this bit right, everything else falls into place. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it there because I've done the 30 minutes and I don't wish to overload, but I hope that's been helpful. Please have a go at looking at your own, print it off. And why not for yourselves? Why not fill it in? Why not give yourself, draw the line in the sand and say, right, I'm like starting over. January is my first month. Work out what 45 days is from today, and let's go for this. And I'm doing it for me as well. Okay. So those of you that have been on, if you've been listening, thank you very much. I very much look forward to seeing you next week. And this is being recorded so you can replay if you dare want to bother to hear me again. Before we go, any questions? Any obvious questions that are sticking out? I can see there's one little chat thing. Let me just have a look. Not quite sure what that's about, Chris, to do with this.
That's just you're saying that you've got 31 days to get your 4 customers, but in reality, they've got to go live to be counted. So,
Well, actually, the new person has 45 days.
yeah, granted,
Yeah.
But in terms of that fast activity bonus,
yeah.
£1 a month.
All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there then, and see you all next week. Thank you very much. It's been lovely to see you all. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.